Kia ora e te whānau, and welcome to this short lesson on self-esteem, whakamanoa. I hope you're all well in your bubbles. So the learning intentions, koronga ako, are number 1, to explore your perception of your self-esteem, and number 2, to learn strategies to help you grow your self-esteem. But before we begin, I'm going to start with a karakia. This is a really nice way to start any piece of learning. It just helps us to feel calm, relaxed, and focused. So as I say this karakia, just notice your feet on the floor, or notice yourself sat in the chair, or maybe if you're sat in bed, just notice where you're touching the ground. Notice if your shoulders are up. Just relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. Take a breath in and a long breath out. And if you want to practice with me, please do. Whakatoka te hau ki te uru, whakatoka te hau ki te tonga, kia mā kina kina kiuta, kia mā taratara ki tai, e hiaki ana te atakora, he teo, he huka, he hauhu, ti hei Māori ora. Cease the winds from the west, cease the winds from the south, let the breeze blow over the land, let the breeze blow over the ocean, let the red-tipped dawn come with a sharpened air, a touch of frost, a promise of a glorious day. Cool. So let's have a look. What's the definition of self-esteem? It's our belief in our own self-worth. Often our belief comes from perception. How do we perceive ourselves? And how do others perceive us? I'm going to give you a minute to have a look at this image. There are 2 things in this image. 50% of people see one thing, and about 50% of people see the other. Have a look, see if you can identify both, but notice what you see first. Have you seen anything yet? Just give you another couple of seconds. Okay, so some of you may have seen a rat or a mouse. This is the head, the eye, the nose, the front paw, 2 ears, the body, the back leg, and the tail. Or you might see an old man, bald, glasses, nose, smiling mouth, ear, and chin. I wonder what you saw first. I wonder if you can see both. So what is self-esteem? This short video, it's about 4 minutes long, talks about what self-esteem is, what we feel is important for us to feel good about. And it also talks about some tips on how we can grow our self-esteem. So I'm going to pause this video now. If you can go to the slides and click on this video and watch the video, and then come back and I'll talk you through the rest of what to do. Okay, so hopefully you watched the video, and just a reminder of the 5 top tips. So number 1, be your own best friend. Practice lots of self-care. Number 2, be selective with your friends. Hang out and communicate with those people that are positive and encouraging. Number 3, spend time doing things that you're good at and what you enjoy. Number 4, remind yourself of your abilities and your achievements. And number 5, be true to yourself and do the right thing. Stand up for yourself and for your beliefs. So now I'm just going to introduce you to a resource that you've got access to with this lesson, and it's on a self-reflection sheet on self-esteem. And the idea is that you are going to rate your self-esteem. So if you can just pause the video, go into Hauora Google Classroom to the resources for this lesson and click on the self-reflection sheet and have that open for the next part of the video. Okay, so hopefully you found the self-reflection sheet on self-esteem whakamanawa. So this is what it should look like. I'm just going to talk you through what to do on this worksheet, and then I'm going to give you some time to go off and do it. So what you'll notice here, we're looking at rate yourself from 1 to 5, where 1 is the lowest and 5 is the highest on the following. So as you'll notice in the video, they talked about what was important to us: our appearance, our academic ability, our sporting ability, our creativity, and our ability to make good friendships. So I want you to give yourself a number between 1 and 5 for these, and then add up your total score here, and then divide that number by 5 to get your average score over here. So once you've done that, which area of your self-esteem would you like to think more positively about? Maybe just choose one of these for now and just write that in this gap. Then moving on, it says after watching the video on self-esteem, jot down some ways that you can plan to improve yours. So the video talked about two things: positive influences and positive experiences. So this can be achievements, encouragements, affirmations, or role models that have a positive effect on your life. So make a list of some of these things under each of these two headings: positive influences and positive experiences. And then moving on to the second page, I want you to identify some positive people in your life that encourage you and are important to you, people who you look up to. You can name them here, and you can also write down some words on how would they positively describe you. What would it be like for you to listen to their perception of you? Number 4, reflect on what you're good at. Write down, what are your talents, what are your achievements, what are things you enjoy, things you're good at. Really have a think. And even if it's a while back, it doesn't matter how long ago you have to think. It will still be in you, the things that you enjoy, even if you haven't done them for some time. Number 5, I want you to write down your first name going down the page letter by letter. So for me, my name is Alex. I would put A, L, E, and X vertically. And next to each letter of my name, I'm going to write down a positive attribute or an adjective for each letter of my name. Now, X is a really tricky one, so you can make things up. It doesn't have to start with X. It could be a word that starts EX, but you can knock the E off. I will let you cheat. And then number 6, self-affirmations. Now, this is proven to be an activity that raises self-esteem. Choose 3 positive things to say about yourself. Now, like a doctor would prescribe to you medications to take 3 times a day, saying these affirmations 3 times a day would be brilliant, but that's probably asking a bit much. So I want you to remember, when you go in the bathroom or you brush your teeth, wash your face or have a shower, stand in front of a mirror, I want you to look yourself in the eye and I want you to say 3 things out loud that are positive about you. And I want you to listen to them. The science says if you do this for 2 weeks, you will start to believe in yourself and your self-esteem will grow. So examples are: I am strong, I am beautiful, I am enough, I am worthy, I am lovable, I am kind, etc. So I want you to think of 3 things that you do believe about yourself or that you want to believe about yourself, and let that be your prescription for the next 2 weeks. Okay, so back to the slides. Everything is linked. Self-care, we need to look after ourselves. The thoughts that we have about ourselves create feelings about ourselves. Feelings create bodily sensations. And then when we feel bodily sensations which are uncomfortable, then we act in certain ways which are unhelpful. We might withdraw ourselves from people, or we might make quick reactions. So it's really good for you to focus on getting positive thoughts about yourself and thinking about how might I be able to create these. And largely that is hanging around with positive people and starting to change how you think about yourself. So I'm going to pause the video now so that you can go into the slides and click on this YouTube link to Kid President giving you a pep talk. So the last strategy for this lesson today is to teach you some mindfulness. This is really good self-care. It's called the sober breathing space. And if you have an egg timer in your kitchen, you can go and grab that and have a look at using that as a visual aid to help you. But basically the top of the egg timer is really broad. What I want you to do is to stop what you're doing when you feel stressed. Just take a pause. In the wide section of the glass, we do a wide observation. What's going on in your body right now? What's happening from your head all the way down to the tops of your toes? Can you feel stress in your body? Is your heart racing? Is there an emotion present? Just notice it. And then the very narrow focus here, the middle of the egg timer, is B for breathe. So we're just going to practice 3 breaths. And it's most important that you focus on a really long out breath. So we're going to breathe in for 4 and we're going to breathe out for 6. Breathing in and breathing out. And breathing in and breathing out. And breathing in and breathing out. Take another scan. See if you feel any of that stress has gone or is easing, or if you're relaxing, or your breathing is becoming more regular. If that's the case, then you can move on to expand. Just expand your awareness back to your body, check in, how am I feeling? And if you're feeling better, then respond to what you're about to do. You'll feel more focused and more relaxed to continue. If at breathe you don't feel much better, we go back and we do it again and again. Eventually, you will feel calmer for you to be able to respond back to the task you're going to do. You'll find here a link to a guided meditation on this sober breathing space. So, Paiaru Anitu, success criteria. Have you reflected on your perception of your self-esteem? In other words, have you identified the areas of your self-esteem that you would like to work on? I have strategies and next steps to practice in order to build my self-esteem. So looking at the self-reflection sheet, there were some strategies on there. So it was noticing your positive people, noticing your self-care, noticing your talents and your abilities, noticing positive influences and experiences, and practicing some self-affirmations. I hope this has been helpful. There'll be another resilience lesson next week. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.